You are now politicking with Po.
Corner store philosophy, wine prophets who probably felt the greatest high and chased that dragon into poverty. Inherited a lower self-esteem and a lack of knowledge. Got they refund checks and turn they back to college. Who needs a degree to survive in these streets? Weather 400 degrees, juveniles chasing dreams. Hustling harder for smaller returns. They call it life shit. We live and we learn. What's up, world? It's JP1, aka Jackpot the Chosen One, representing Detroit to the fullest. Right now, you politicking with Po on PoPolitickin. Let's get it.
All the righteous people join together and unify. Take back our families and children, multiply. Show them how to live to the standard we died for. Teach them by God, put them first and ride for them. The devil being busy and he using the media. Destroying young minds, don't feed out the evil, bro. The story been told in the Bible, don't bite the out. See, our life matter, we just charged for being black. We weigh much more than the shit they broadcast. We just get dough, feed the family, and live laughing. Some work 9 to 5, the other had still trapping. Some treat our sisters like queen, other disrespect them. Our women got to prove to our men they more than set. In order to get respect, the sister respect yourself. We all get in a situation, we do what we got to do. But change it good, don't let the world throw you through the loop. And yeah, I'm representing Columbia, Mississippi. Mr. Tria, SMR. And I'm politicking with my boy Po on PoPolitickin.
I've journeyed for miles with various styles. Before I was born, I was made to be a dangerous child, but as a man I've evolved. Mercenary techniques turned a young geek into that of a god. Rap was never that hard. I bring terror to squads. Competition getting flipped like a deck of some cards. So swift but so sick, what I'm spitting is mightier. My pen is nausea to your heaviest sword. So bring your illest crew, plus an extra 2. You won't return like a library book that's overdue. The game is full of parasites, vultures, and leeches, so I spit the fireworks that'll blow them to pieces. It's the soul dragon Malcolm Dwayne coming straight up out of Nashville, and I'm politicking with the homie Po on PoPolitickin Radio. Soul.
PoPolitickin.com.
This is staHHr, that's StaHHr, the 2 H's are for hip hop, and I'm on PoPolitickin Radio. Peace, love, and balance. Thought that it would break me, take me off my course. Fell, picked it up, realigned with the source. Back on the horse like a diver. I'm a survivor, victor, picture perfect. Work it till it short circuits. Think it, speak it, claim it. Secret, ain't it's ancient. Cadence, murder, fragrance. Ultraviolet, how I speak when I'm silent. Through my aura, borealis aurora. It's in the bloodline. Liquid sunshine, the heart. Know it and I'm doing my part. Sometimes it's switch in a blink like a glitch in the link of a chain. Stay off it, before I lose I'm a forfeit. No bowing to the corporate, the devil's in the pulpit. Applaud this, flawless, spit gorgeous. Justice for the lawless, that real rawness.
Unbreakable, can't block the flow. Take my soul, oh, oh, no, no. Unbreakable, can't block the flow. Won't take my soul, oh, oh, no.
You talk reckless, but softer than a pearl necklace. We out of balance, let's correct it. Stay connected, we resurrect bliss. Then over on the next mission, the womb must be protected and respected. Ashe, no more victim, that's the mission. Deal with truth every day. Gotta make it over, that's the only way. Go against the grain, work through the pain to get joy. Something to hold on, murder Lloyd. Survival of the fit, we intent, brethren. 7 steps to heaven, wafers unleavened, communion with the interstellar. Ginger leather, shooting dice with Christ, looking for my Cinderella. Dana Dane flow, plain Jane no. Punky rooster with the colorful mainframe glow. Life been bananas, welfare and tannin. Regardless, cry freedom if you really want this.
Unbreakable, can't block the flow. Take my soul, oh, oh, no, no. Unbreakable, can't block the flow. Won't take my soul, oh, oh, no.
Think about the timing while you planning and designing. Strong under pressure, morphed into a diamond. Shining brighter than some Twinkies on a hog. Grinding, creeping through and seeping like a bog. Something inside of me guiding me, keep It's reminding me to rewind and see, no following blindly. The worst is behind me. Every cell of my being responding to freedom. That's where it starts first, feeling DNA burst like a climax all through your body. Such a rush, type fast lane and Maseratis. Kept my guard up in case they wanna start stuff. Life it'll call bluffs even if you're all tough. Knock your block off, trying to get your rocks off. Turntables, cause we able to win. Unshakable, we rooted firm, breaking them in. Breaking them in, breaking them in.
Unbreakable, can't block the flow, won't take my soul. Oh, oh, no, no. Unbreakable, can't block the flow, won't take my soul. Oh, oh,
Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Make sure you download our app on iTunes, subscribe, like, and comment to this interview. I'm now politicking with the lovely staHHr. How you doing?
I'm good, peace. How are you?
I'm good, and I say lovely because I was looking at your Instagram and I see a black queen, black goddess.
Give
Peep that
thanks.
out from you.
That's my parents. I can't take any credit for it. That's my mama and my daddy.
Okay, and then the first thing I want you to talk about your name because it's staHHr, but it has two H's, and I know the H's have meanings behind it.
Right. The two H's just stand for hip hop. I mean, staHHr is a simple name, and I'm like, well, how can I jazz it up? So I was like, the two H's just made sense.
Okay, and then where are you at now? What's your where you live?
I don't want people to know where I live. They might try to come. I got stalkers.
So where your hometown then? What's your hometown?
My home is Atlanta, though I was born somewhere else, but I've been in Atlanta for 30 years. So that's always like a weird, because people are like, well, if you're not born there, you're not from there. And it's like, I'm more connected to Atlanta than I am Memphis, which is where I was born. I mean, Memphis is my roots, but I was raised here. Like, I started rhyming here. So staHHr is from Atlanta.
You said 30 years?
Like 30 years.
Yeah, so you grew up in the Renaissance and all that in Atlanta. So how was that?
I mean, it made me who I am today, because being here, the influence came from, New York, obviously, and LA. So those were the two, or not LA, the West Coast, but primarily LA. So that was what you bounce back and forth between, because that's what there was. So when Outkast came out, that was huge for us here, because we finally had lyrical content-based representation here where we were, that we could see, and we watched them grow. Like they raised me and I watched them grow up. It's crazy just to have been a part of something like that.
What about
here before?
But then what about, also you had the crunk era, so what about that?
I'm from here, so that's part of the culture. I was in 559 the same way I was in Club Kaya. I listened to Edward J. So all of that, Kilo Ali, those are all our forefathers. It don't matter what genre it was. I grew up on all of that. I grew up on all of it. Luke, all of it. All of it.
So
everything.
Who's your main influences?
I mean, that's a long list. Def Squad, Native Tongues, Dungeon Family, Hyro, Ice Cube, Special Ed, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Light, Latifah, Moni. I mean, Slick Rick, LL, everybody damn near, but Boot Camp Clik, Organized Confusion. I was influenced by a lot.
Who would you say your top 5 rappers are right now?
That's such
I know.
That's not a question. And mine changes. I don't think there's ever going to be a top 5 or a top 10 across the board, because there's too many factors that can be that have to be. I mean, it's people that are dope to me for one thing and one thing only that I would put in the top that probably nobody else would. So I will answer the question by saying who is my favorite MC, so that people don't get their feelings hurt, because I had to answer this question on another interview, and I don't like answering the same questions over and over again. Redman is the greatest MC of all time. So that's my one. I'll give one. I'm not giving a 5 because people really get in their feelings over that.
All right, and then huh?
He's the greatest of all time.
What album? What song you like by Redman?
Hmm?
What's your favorite?
He's my favorite MC and the reason why I rhyme. So anything Redman has ever done, probably with the exception of that one that came after Doc's the Name that I don't remember the name of. So that tells you, is very telling. He's incredible. Like, he made me want to rhyme. That is the reason why Star exists, because of Redman. So know that.
All right, and then
I can't even narrow it because it would probably be a tie between Muddy Waters and There Is a Dark Side in terms of my favorite.
All right, and then
the album is the one that set it off. So that's just, those are always difficult questions. I can't choose, so I choose them all.
All right, and then you talked about Redman. So just give us a little bit more about your background and like how long you've been doing it and how you fell in love with it, with hip hop.
Again, a question that is always asked, but I'll answer it again anyway. I fell in love with hip hop when I was 13, listening to Slick Rick's first album at a basement party in Chicago. And maybe a couple of years later, my best friend in high school suggested that we start rhyming. I wrote poetry and I wrote creative stories. Before then, she wrote a rhyme, I wrote a rhyme. The rest is history. It just went from there. I mean, it's like when you're growing, you're not thinking, let me take notes because somebody's gonna ask me one day about all this stuff. I was just living. I live the culture because I'm a fan first. I'm a hip hop head first before I'm an MC. I bought albums. I went to shows. I bought merch. I embraced the culture. You know, every aspect of hip hop. I tried to. If I didn't dabble in it, I at least did the knowledge to it. So there's not any one, particular thing. I think when you start going, it kind of like it snowballs. Like when you really lock in and you attach to it, there's not. I mean, I'm old. I'm an old soul, so I got 1,000 instances that it would take like 5 days to speak on all of them. But I would say the defining turning point for me was when I heard Slick Rick's album at that basement party. I completely fell in love with hip hop at that point, and it just progressed from there.
Yeah, what's your definition of hip hop?
Freedom of expression, not being in a box, soulfulness, authenticity. Yeah. Freedom is like the main one to me though. It's very freeing. It's a very freeing art form.
And how do you feel about the current state of hip hop?
I only focus on that which impacts me, and from where I'm sitting, I'm doing my job, so I'm good. I don't worry about the rest. When we worry about that type of stuff, it takes energy away from the solutions. I focus on what I like. I focus on what's dope, and I let the rest of that stuff fly in the wind. I think hip hop is in a good space right now because a lot of the people who laid the foundation are still here, are still active, and as long as we keep that we bridge that gap and there's respect for whose shoulders we're standing on, we're gonna be fine. All that other stuff is a distraction. It's not going to even be here in 10 years. It ain't even worth discussing because it's not going to last. So I don't let it bother.
Yeah, I feel like everybody that's involved with hip hop should be adding to the culture, like enhancing it. So how do you feel that you're doing that?
I'm true to myself. I'm true to the art form as much as possible, and I just do me. I mean, I think it's unfair to necessarily demand anyone to do anything because people are going to do what the fuck they want to do. I mean, like I would say we all should be paying tithes to Cool Herc. You feel what I'm saying? But who's doing that? Oh yeah, we big up to the forefathers. But remember when Herc got sick and they had to raise money? That shouldn't have happened.
Right.
So if I was going to demand anything that people should be doing, we should be setting up some kind of fund so that there can be health care provided, retirement, and whatnot for these artists who we claim we love so much, who ingenuity and inventiveness, some people are living very well off of, but they're not giving back. I mean, but then it's like you can't tell nobody what to do with their money either. But I'm just saying, I think that would be a good idea. I just keep it true to the culture and the art form. I mean, that's really the most anyone can do, because people can do a lot and say a lot of things, but it's like, what are the fruits of what you're saying? Like, I feel like my music, I've dabbled in activism. I mean, I try to address current events without forcing it. I still want things to be natural. I don't want to have an agenda. I think I do a good job of being authentic and respecting the art form. So that's my contribution.
And then also, I saw you do a lot of lectures at colleges.
I don't do a lot of lectures. I've done one.
Oh,
That's interesting. I need to probably look at my bio.
yeah, I'm red all, bro.
It's okay. I would love to do more now, so we can speak. Let's speak that into existence. I did one at Wesleyan University in 2010. One of the sisters who went to school there was part of, I don't even remember what organization she was part of, but she reached out to my management at the time, and they wanted me to perform. And in the conversation, somehow they got to talking about the academic aspect, and he said something about a lecture, and then the girl was like, "What? She'll lecture?" I got paid more to lecture than I did to perform. That was a really dope experience. I lectured on the lyricism from the perspective of a woman in hip hop, and I had like 5 different examples. Like I used Ladybug, Bahamadia, Rage, and Lauryn Hill, and I use them all as archetypes of a specific aspect of lyricism, and have my little PowerPoint and also, but I would like to do more of that. Actually, that was really fun.
And then, like I said, I was checking out, like when I was checking out your Instagram, and I was listening to your flow and everything. I could just tell you're very enlightened. So I just want you to talk about some of the books you read. You were saying your parents influenced you. Just talk about some of the books.
I don't read as much as I need to be reading now. It's because of my life, but I've been reading since I was 4. So
what books do you recommend to us then?
I don't recommend books to people if I don't know what they're into. I mean, I can say what I like right now. A book I would recommend to anybody is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Yeah, I read that one.
And Malcolm X autobiography, but then that would depend. That book changed my life. I read books on health, metaphysics, history, religion, self-help. I mean, I don't really read like I used to. I'm a parent. I have a small child, so that is time consuming. I'm lucky if I get to finish a book in one sitting. I don't have that luxury anymore. But yeah.
Why did that book change your life, the Malcolm X book?
Why?
Yeah, because the reason it changed my life.
When I was 15, based on where I grew up and how I grew up, that really sparked my consciousness. Because Malcolm and I had very similar life experiences in terms of like, when he went to school. Like I went to school with predominantly white people. So like I really identified with the mascot when he talked about being the mascot, and just how he did that change, and I did something similar. I mean, without of course breaking into houses and sleeping with white women, but I went through like, oh word, okay, they not really my friends. Let me look at, you might be right, you might be onto something, Malcolm. And it went from there.
Yeah, with me it was like I remember when he was talking about he went to jail, and when he said he lost his vision, he was reading so much. So that's really what stuck me, and that's actually why I started reading like him and Tupac. I started reading because of him. So something similar almost.
That's what I think really got me though.
All right, and then I just want you to talk about what are your current projects you're working on right now.
Took a 2.5-year break, so I'm just coming back from that. I'm doing something right now. It's called Respect Due, and it started as a photo series because it was during the time when I was not rhyming, but I still wanted to have something to contribute to hip hop culture. And I've just taken shirts or different merch primarily shirts, sweatshirts that I had from artists who either had a personal impact on me or who I felt had never gotten their just due or their respect due. And earlier this year, like probably around like really June, because that's when I started writing them, I was like, you know what? I gotta add something else. And I was listening to just some older songs, like from, the 90s or whatever, that I used to love, listening to it. I used to have on repeat, and I'm like, you know what? I need to start doing freestyles because that's going to help me get back into writing mode. And so I've done about 11 freestyles to different beats, and I have shooting videos for all of them. And then I'm working on a project with Crazy DJ Bizarro's Dysfunctional Family Beat Minus Radio, called 730 is the name of us collectively. And then I have a couple of other things that I'm not at liberty to discuss right now because I don't like talking about stuff that's not finished or that's not in the works. I haven't written to the beats yet, so I'm not speaking on it. But I have a couple of really dope things. There might even be some stuff with Metal Face next year. Just that's the one thing I will put out there, but we'll see. We'll see how that develops. And that's it. I mean, I'm just getting back into the swing of writing.
Now, how do you feel about social media? You think it's important?
But it's a necessary evil. I really, because I'm not from, I lived in the world before social media. I hate a lot of social media. I really do. But what I love about it is how it connects us, and it has enabled me to be able to connect and work with people who I wouldn't have been able to go, like to Japan to have a face-to-face with this person, for example. But through social media, your stuff can just hit everybody in a very short amount of time. And I do love that. I love that about it. But all of the other stuff, the trolling and the people in your DMs and all, people posting all kind of horrible, graphic shit from the news, I could do without. But that the connection aspect of social media, I love it. It's a wonderful tool for an artist. And I would recommend any artist even if you have to pay someone to just run your page for you, have an active presence on social media. It's a good thing for that. And even with the fans who are not psychopaths, for you to be able to interact with them, because some people do take things too far, and you have to block or ignore certain things. But for the most part, it's really good to be able to get that feedback, interact, and share with your fan base. It's quick. And it's free, so you can't beat that.
I'll say, what do you like the most? Like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest.
I don't like any of them, but Instagram is probably the easiest to operate and the most effective. I think it is, because everything is just like you only got 60 seconds if you don't put music on there. It's real. For them short attention span people.
I actually think that's one of the problems with social media too. Everything's so quick now, so it's something. Yeah,
but things change. It's like you gotta make the best out of it. But yeah, people's attention spans are definitely shorter. They are, and that's just it is what it is. So.
Then, what advice would you give to a new artist, somebody wanting to get in this game and do this?
I would say avoid it at all costs because it's horrible and it sucks. Go to college and be a doctor.
And then what if they say they still want to do it?
But if you must rhyme, make sure that you study the business aspect and be honest with yourself, because everyone's not cut out for it. I think that people have the right to express themselves, but when you are talking about being an artist, a professional artist, meaning you're going to get paid for it, you need to meet a certain standard. And there's people out there, I don't know how they got past. I guess nobody was ever honest with them. Some of these people have actually gone on to make a lot of money though. So maybe I'm wrong. But study the business. Handle your business. Handle your business. Handle your business. And for those just an extra aside for those from that predate social media. There's a lot of money to be made online. So please make sure that you have a website that is easily functional. If you have merch, make it easy for somebody to go and support and buy it. If you got music, have it on as many of the digital outlets as possible, because when someone wants to support you, but they can't, no one's going to beg you to take their money.
Right.
But the business, for you new jacks, business, and read a lot. And don't listen to other people's music either. Like, try not to listen to a whole bunch of rappers when you're first getting you're getting, because then you're going to sound like somebody else. I mean, we all are influenced and we got to grow through that. But I would advise, I try not to listen to a whole lot of people when I'm writing, because I don't want to sound like nobody else. You know what I mean? And I'm inspired by all different kinds of music too. So it's like hip hop is only one aspect. And because hip hop is so Frankensteinian, because we take pieces from so many different things and we put them together to create our own, you really don't have to listen just only to rap music if you rap. So that's another thing. Get your inspiration from as many different aspects of life as possible. It'll make you a more well-rounded artist, and it'll make your writing a lot better.
So what do you think about, this is kind of off the wall, but what do you think about EDM?
I've never gotten into it enough to form an opinion on it.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you one EDM song.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting though. I feel like they're kind of, it's turned into like hip hop without the beat. It's kind of weird. It's like techno and hip hop mixed together.
I saw something recently where them DJs are making a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's like
to, hip hop DJs, like, damn, these cats are making like billions and billions of dollars, but maybe it's a business thing. I mean, cultural appropriation, I obviously pays well, but
all right.
Yeah, I don't know anything about EDM to speak on it, so I'm gonna stay in my lane on that one. I don't know anything about it.
And then what would you like to say to all your fans and people that have been supporting your career thus far?
I appreciate you and thank you for tolerating and accepting me, because I'm a mess. Nah, see, I appreciate it. I mean, I definitely appreciate that, that obviously there's people out there who can relate to how I think. So I'm not alone in this world. It's good to know. I love y'all. Appreciate you.
I want to say thank you for coming through politicking with me.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Anything we didn't cover you want to talk about?
Oh, well, if they want to be in touch with me on social media, I'm staHHr on everything. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, SoundCloud _, YouTube _. That's where I am. And I also have a line of shirts. I'm wearing one of the hoodies right now. The Love Always Wins. Scribe Tees. That's also on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Well, not on Twitter, but I have the star logo tees and a couple of other designs. So that's it. I mean,
yeah, that was a good point when you was talking about earlier, because like you said, a lot of fans, they're going online looking for artists to support them. If you don't have your stuff like simple where they can just click and get it, that's your loss. They're not going to.
Listen, I had a group, and I'm not going to say the group's name, but I mean legends, like OGs. And I went on their site to try to buy something. I was about to drop like $100, $150 on merch. And when I got to the checkout portion, it wouldn't accept something. I sent an email to customer service. It's been almost 2 months and I still haven't heard anything.
Well,
PoPolitickin.com.
Thanks for listening to PoPolitickin.com, a self-help meets hip-hop brand. If you are an artist or business owner wanting to be featured on PoPolitickin.com, contact us at PoPolitickin@gmail.com. That's PoPolitickin@gmail.com. Or text 760-717-5803. If you're a listener that enjoys the show and wants to support, you can donate to PoPolitickin.com via PayPal.com. Please send donations to PoPolitickin@gmail.com. Any amount will be helpful in continuing to create quality content and shows. As always, check out PoPolitickin.com for past episodes. Make sure you subscribe to PoPolitickin on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. The PoPolitickin Show is brought to you by Audible. With over 180,000 titles to choose from, Audible is great for any continuous learner wanting to grow and expand their knowledge and insight. Go to www.audibletrial.com/POAudio and get an audiobook of your choice free with a 30-day trial. After the trial, your paid membership will begin at $14.95 per month. With your membership, you will receive 1 credit every month, good for an audiobook on Audible. Cancel before your trial ends and you will not be charged. So go to www.audibletrial.com/POAudio and download a free book by Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Napoleon Hill, Les Brown, Damon John, and more. Always remember that knowledge is power.